Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I've got an informational video for you about rapid fire in Call of Duty World War II. Is it worth it? Is it any good at all? Different on some guns? Exactly what does it do? So we're going to break it down real quick today. Sort of like a mini in-depth, but not fully in-depth because the game is in beta and a lot of this will be changing. The gameplay you're going to get to see from me is rapid fire on the Type 100, and funny enough, I got J-Hub to get me the clips for this last night because I didn't have rapid fire on every SMG, and then I go to edit my video and I notice in my sub box that Exclusive Ace has already made a similar video, and he chose the Type 100 as his gameplay example, so I feel almost like I'm raw instincting him, even though that wasn't the case. Great minds think alike, Convergent Design. I linked both of these guys down below in the description, but let's take a look at rapid fire. The grease gun normally fires at 540 RPM. If you put rapid fire on it, it'll go up another 40 to 580, and your gain is about 7.5%. When you look at the PPSH, it's 724 RPM. It goes up about 5%, which is a very small gain. If you look at the Type 100, it's identical, 5.6% gain. Overall, these SMGs have a relatively slow rate of fire, at least compared to previous Call of Duty games. However, the WAF is extremely fast at almost 1200 RPM, and when you put rapid fire on it, it goes up over 1200 RPM, closer to 1300, but the gain is approximately 7%. You have a bigger number gain on the WAF, but the percentage gain is still about 7%. Here's a test example of the PPSH in slow motion to show you exactly what a 5.6% gain looks like. It's not very much, and you really won't notice it. It's about one bullet ahead until near the very end of that clip. However, if you swap over to the WAF, it's about the same thing, even though it's shooting a little faster. The WAF might even end up getting 2 bullets ahead just because of the way the frame's round, but it's still very, very quick, and that's at 4 times slow motion, so at normal speed you probably won't notice it. Now, it was pretty much 7% across the board on SMGs, and referring to Ace's video, it's 7% on sniper rifles, 7% on assault rifles, 7% on shotguns, give or take a little bit because each weapon has a slightly different rate of fire. We're measuring with capture cards, there's frame rounding, there's a little bit of error here and there, but generally speaking, it seems like the game is coded for rapid fire to be a 7% gain in your rate of fire. Now, compared to previous Call of Duty games, that's on the small side except for the recent ones. Modern Warfare 3 had 25%, Black Ops 2 was insane at 50%, but you had like recoil and range penalties there. Ghost was 17%, but then when you start hitting modern Call of Duty games, like Black Ops 3 was 6.4, World War 2 was 7%, it wasn't that big in IW. Basically anything after Advanced Warfare, rapid fire is going to be a very small percentage gain, but before that they were nuttier, and the reason the devs did this is so that you couldn't insta-delete people with rapid fire, especially when it was an attachment and when it wasn't necessary to trade out for stopping power or anything like that. While rapid fire was rarely an optimal attachment, you could definitely use it to cheese people in close quarters combat, but in terms of balance and competitive play, that wasn't very fun, so rapid fire has been scaled back down a lot. So the question is rapid fire worth it? Not for me, not in about 99% of situations. Your time to kill gain is going to be just a few frames if you're not missing, and oftentimes your gain on time to kill is going to be less than that of the average network lag, and in some cases even less than that of your display lag, so it's not very significant. It's not something that I would run very often. However, it may be useful in competitive or on the WAF. I do think the WAF might be a special exception for this, just because the base rate of fire is so high. Even though it's only a 7% gain, you're almost gaining 100 rounds per minute, or double that of the others, so you're probably gaining more than just a few frames of time to kill on that one, but overall it's going to make the gun kick like a mule, and it's not going to be ideal. You're probably going to want to run foregrip, steady aim, maybe some sort of optics, something much more useful than rapid fire. You won't see me using this very much when the game comes out unless it's been changed, though again, I do think you'll see a few people using it in competitive. These guys that play competitive are absolutely nuts, and for them every single frame matters, and they're doing really, really close and intense trading. So if you're going game battles or you're going MLG or anything like that, it might be useful, but for me it's not. Guys, that's all for this short video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.